Let's call this session Commissioners Court in order. Holly, I've got 32 after. I don't know what. I'm a little slower than that clock.
I got 32 after too.
Okay. First item on the agenda, pay the bills.
Yeah.
There was no proof of that.
I know, I was like, come on.
But Purdue Brandon Filter sent us a bill. That's pretty odd.
What was it
It was
for?
for
Laser
toner
print, yeah.
and supplies.
But normally, I mean,
postage.
they don't ever send us a bill for
No,
nothing.
it was for the delinquent statements they mailed out.
Is that what it
The
was
May
for?
statements.
3307,
Yeah.
my notices.
Uh, Okay, well, you shouldn't have done it that way. I mean, he just goes, okay. You should have
Well,
said, yeah, maybe.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe we'll do it better next time.
Okay.
You made a motion to pay
Yes,
the
sir.
bill.
Yes, sir.
Jan seconded the motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I think so.
Any opposed?
What columns that go in?
I'm giving him an all four.
Item number 2, consent list.
Oh.
Didn't really see any changes that need to be made. Y'all see anything on there?
Oh, yeah, guys, I did set through an hour and a half long class about how to stand up for myself in Commissioner's Court. So just to prepare y'all,
How to do what?
stand up for myself in Commissioner's Court. So I'm knowledgeable now. So y'all better be nice to me. Hour and a half I sat there and listened to that.
Hey, we go every year and get 16 hours on how to take care of y'all.
Okay, you got me beat.
It's the best, it's undoubtedly the best 16 hours you can spend.
Yeah, 'cause you never forget it.
No, no.
This year was especially uneventful.
Well, you know, I've collected some of the delinquent stuff so far, about 30% of it. That's good.
Hey, did that CREZ deal, did it go away? What happened to that?
The what now?
That CREZ, you know, we created that investment zone, tax zone that was.
Yeah.
What,
Oh, that reinvestment zone?
well, this one right
What
here.
what you got? Let me see
It
what
was that oil field deal.
Oh, yeah, it's done.
It's done?
Oh, it's been done.
I didn't think
The
that-
legislature actually did away with that 4 years ago.
The first year after we got it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they did that one in. Clerk's office had a kind of a average kind of
A little slower than the last few months, but.
district court was about to zero. Actually, it's something when county court outdoes district court.
Well, people died,
Yeah,
so county court outdid district court.
that's true.
They kind of sounded really tired.
Well, probates is what they do, I mean.
Yeah,
The only one because people died.
Yeah, that's one. They should all start picking back up though, the next.
That don't sound good at all, because you said we made money because people died, and then you said, but we should start picking up now. So, I mean, my mind's racing going,
Death rate,
does
death
sound
rate.
similar.
what's, Holly, heads up here? I
Well, you
mean,
know we
Trying to
done.
get the county some money.
oh, man.
people died, so we did good, but it should pick up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree, that kind of.
What all did you learn in that class?
yeah, yeah.
A lot more than the clerks really want you to know.
Oh, man.
That's kind of like when I was home that 2 weeks with that COVID. The undertaker texted me and said, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I'm feeling damn good right now." I mean,
Yeah.
when the undertaker calls to check on your condition,
Here.
it's incentive to feel better.
Yeah, for sure.
Bridge.
should've sent something to clerk though.
Oh,
Is that local? Or is all them local?
Well, during COVID, I had those people come from Dallas, Fort Worth, because I was the only clerk's office they could find open. but
Right.
Everybody else basically's been local.
How many?
50, but that's from 2015, so. But see, those are the only ones that don't start over every year, so it just is a running total of all the ones I issue. Then you get a new clerk, and they start over at 1.
I'll be dirt.
Okay, any questions or comments about anything on the consent list? Discussion? Motion? Okay, don't
So
everybody
moved.
Speak at once. Bill Kirk made a motion to approve the consent list. Have a second?
Yeah.
Gary, second?
I will.
All in favor? Any opposed? Road and bridge report.
Finally dry enough, we're blading. Everywhere. Spraying weeds and blading. And this box culvert, well, you wanna
Yep.
talk about that?
Oh, that's out there on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooker
What's that?
Cemetery.
Right
Two
east of Hooker
fifty-two, yeah.
Cemetery.
Did you talk to
Did,
Frazier?
I sure did, and he was gonna get out there and look at it.
Okay.
Is the water going under it?
Yes, sir.
The thing of it is, that's what Jackie and I'm talking about, that thing undermined like that, and then of course that wing broke off of it. It's almost a demolition job and start over, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know whether we can pump anything underneath that thing or not to seal that.
Well, I told Jackie, and I'd run Jackie, was on another deal, and he mentioned it to me, and I told him, the only thing I need to do is get right in front of that thing and just take a backhoe and dig straight down. You know, you might dig down, I don't know how far, 4 foot. And just, you know, just pour it straight down so that water can't, I mean, you can finally undermine it, but,
Yeah.
you know, just cut that water off and force it back over the top.
There's no water hits there.
But you're gonna have to put that wing back on there, and I don't know, I just don't know.
Only thing that's holding that up is that rebar at the top
Yeah.
and bottom of it.
See, I don't know how you'd reattach it to where it would be strong enough there, but.
Well, they, Fraser and them, they do some drilling and pinning. They could probably do that. I just wonder if you could, of course, I don't know what it costs, pump cement under it.
See, that's what I asked Jackie about, it reckon we could pump that, to get it to go under there far
Yeah.
enough from each side where you can seal
Where
that
it's sealed.
thing.
Will that eventually, okay,
But I still think on that upside, you're still gonna have to do something.
Real good.
what,
See how that
what if you
rebar
get on the
pulls
downside
out
of it
on that up and down?
and put that on the downside? So it would literally let that water run underneath there, and
Have a
if it would hold up and would that silt that back in?
Well, he might
I don't know, Gary.
come
Or
back
Or
here.
would it just continue to
Would just
Or
keep
undermine
or
from
that-
this side, you know,
Full of-
until it
full
cuts
of
it deeper
cement.
and deeper.
if the void ever gets very big, it's gonna make that thing collapse first time they go across it.
He's gonna have to,
Yeah.
he's
Well,
gonna put something on
See,
the bottom.
they
of
use
it.
that on them water trucks
Follow.
as kind of the bypass
You
road.
got water
What goes across
going
the
down
north
north side. I
big
didn't
water
take a
trucks
picture
going
on
across
that.
Yeah.
Hooker Cemetery.
So there is some
trucks.
production
A
down
lot of
there.
those
Yeah,
water
it's
trucks
running
use
up.
that road.
So the pulling unit crosses that thing too then?
Okay, we got them.
A pulling unit crosses
I
that?
don't know if
Yeah.
a pulling unit would cross it very
Should
often or not,
should I
but
call Joey and tell him?
Mathis
don't be
goes
cutting
across it a
across
lot.
Yeah, Mathis goes, they
Right.
do it,
Till
they
we get it
bypass
fixed.
when they're heading back
Yeah,
out
we
the
got
other
it.
way, they'll cut
That's
through there.
80,000 pounds, and if it
pick up
cracks the
1835
center of
and
that
go back.
down there, it's gonna pull them walls in.
Yeah.
I don't know what that box cover to cost. I was telling Jackie, I think the last one of them we built was about $250,000, wasn't it? Of course, that's a big one. Now, is that not what that can cost down there on Salt Creek, you know, down there, like going to, Sam Cochran's? You know what I'm talking about there? Salt Creek, there past Joe and
They
Susan
just built a
Price's.
bridge on it, wasn't it? Yeah,
But that,
on Salt Creek.
No,
No, it
that's
was
a-
over there
that's a
by
box.
Branches, wasn't it?
was it Brent? No, that's a bridge over there.
By James and Son?
Oh, no.
We built one somewhere. Was it that one there
I
at
think
Stink?
that-
It was,
They put one up there at Stink Creek, didn't you? But wasn't it?
No, we got a railroad car on one, and then they built a homemade one on the other side, kind of a low water crossing deal. I think that's a box culvert I built up there, or had built up
What
there.
about that one up on the Kinder Morgan stuff?
We
No,
built
that
one
was
of them.
That was just concrete slab.
Yeah, we just did, we broke that box culvert out and just put slabs.
Okay, so would that work there? Could we just put a low water crossing in there? Does that stay wet all the time?
It's
No,
not,
it don't stay
no,
wet all the time, but
You're gonna have to move a lot of dirt, cause that thing's pretty deep. Of course, I guess you wouldn't have to move any more dirt than we did out here on the Gin Road that time.
It'd slow the traffic down.
Yeah,
It'd slow the traffic down.
had that two point break in it.
yeah.
so there's
Two of them big,
there's
two of them
three,
big culverts across
one,
there,
two,
but
three intersections that are right within that box culvert. You got the one coming out of Hooker Cemetery, then you got the one that goes back up towards where Jay Beakley used to live, back up that way. And then you got the one that goes up, to the north, up by, where, Gene Ball.
which to the west of that, well, that water's coming from, that 800 acres in QPAP farms, and he ain't gonna slow that water.
It's coming.
Yeah, when that water comes out of there, it's, you know, from Pie Dunham back across all of that, every bit of that water funnels down through that.
Yeah.
Does the state still have the bridge program?
I don't know.
I don't
Did the
know,
judge?
I can check with them, see.
I mean, it costs us 10%, but that 10%.
We could do that somewhere else though, in the offset.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we got somewhere in there needs something worked on for sure. And normally they give us a couple of years to make up that 10%. That might be the thing to do, Judge. Can you think who you call Snyder, or we just call Thomas and ask him about it?
Well, I'd probably call, Crystal down here, Valvoline.
Okay.
The district engineer's office, and talk to him about it. She kinda handles that. Christy Barry, Harwell. I'll give them a conversation at the wall.
Last time, we hauled to it twice. And six twice, that keeps.
He keeps
It
washing
keeps
out of the
washing
bottom.
out. So there's a lot of water hit there. And last time all this material right here, James was dumping it down in there, and Tommy and I was trying to shovel it up under that, but, you know, we just didn't shovel real far up. We give out pretty quick.
Y'all had short handles? or
Yeah,
what?
we had short handle. Yeah. Every time he'd sit down, I'd sit down. But anyhow. We did get some gravel shuffles.
You sure had it when everybody's there.
But there's just a lot of water on the south side of that ditch coming around Ray Carter, coming around him, and that 800 acres of Craig's is coming there.
It's just a bunch.
It's a bunch.
That's all going. Okay, how far is it to Tonk Creek from where that's at? Because that's where that water's going, right? Is into Tonk Creek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's running across
Yeah.
and getting to Tom Creek after it fills Carter's
It's
tank.
probably close to a mile.
Yeah, it's not about a quarter of a mile down there to Tonk, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Did
South going south there. See, it comes down, we know where we got that fire down there on that, where the guy was burning that brush down there, they're building this little park, that was Tonk Creek. And that's what, that can't be what, quarter, half mile,
Probably a half mile,
something like that.
maybe? Yeah.
yeah.
But that's a lot of watershed though,
It is.
that is coming down across that there.
But that day, Jack and I were visiting about it. He said that Ray had said you could turn some more of that water out in his pasture up there,
Yeah,
so
he'll take all the water.
he might get in and throw some water back out in that pasture, back up above it. Which still ain't gonna matter. You still got that stuff of Craig's gonna come down there.
Yeah, on that
It's
other side.
it's coming anyway.
Yeah,
There's just gonna be a lot of water there.
yeah.
I will talk to the district engineer and see if there's anything available that takes dock.
Well, maybe between that and maybe Fraser will get a chance to go look at it with
Okay.
Jackie, we can figure something out to do.
You know, I don't know whether you can get a pump truck in there and pumping up in there to stop that undermining or not.
That pump truck deal, that's pretty high though.
Yeah, it is pretty expensive,
Well, that water's
I don't-
always gonna find a way.
It's going to go.
yeah. I don't know if anybody in Haskell has a pump truck, or there's one in Anston.
I don't know.
I don't know
I
either.
don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Can
Ingram,
Mathis pump
Ingram
really
will have access to it. They'll own a
Yeah.
pump truck somewhere.
Would that stay?
We, yeah, probably would.
Where you gonna get drilling mud at?
Oh, I bet there's some around.
Big Springs?
Oh, there's some over in the edge of the county where they're drilling over, I bet.
They are drilling, yeah, that's right, y'all, somebody said there was drilling over.
Yeah, that water run across that drilling mud, some out there on this Carl Hunt.
Just getting it up on there, you'd have
Yeah.
to pump it up on there.
Yeah. As fast as it's hitting there, it may wash it though.
Yeah.
Drilling mud's good. Staying like in, putting in the bottom of a tank to hold the water, because your water's on top of it. You just don't know so much about water running across it.
The problem is if you don't fill that void in, though, eventually that box is gonna break.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Mhm.
If you got nothing supporting it, it's gonna crater in that
What
thing.
did that railroad car cost us out of Oklahoma that I put down on Polk Road? Y'all remember? Was that $10,000?
I think so.
Yeah, something like that. I did, yeah, I think it was 10,000, I think delivered.
With
Wasn't
the
it?
ends cut
I
out.
think that's right.
Let me see what Matt, I'll get him down there and see what he thinks, go from there.
The problem with that road car is though, is even if we put it there, then you gotta still build those wings. Which Don, he built those down at Polk Road, he built those out of, guardrails. I mean, they worked good, I guess. Seems to be staying.
But over there, he had enough depth for that railroad car, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Over here, you'd have to dig down quite a bit to set it in there. or-
Build up.
or it'd be a hell of a hump.
Dude, it's a hazard. Boy, every high school kid in the country be headed out there.
More traffic
Man,
out
no,
there.
we can go get us a jump.
It'd be a fun beer drink.
You can get those, the last circular I got from those people, you can get them with it's already got the wings on it, a button on it. You can
No
buy 'em.
kidding.
Yeah, you can buy them, they've already got them on there.
Wow. I don't know what that
sure
thing
I'm
costs.
sure that adds quite a bit to the cost.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, probably 6 feet on each side, and time to get to the top, it gives you about, I think about 18 inches up, filled with dirt in that thing. But I haven't gotten a circular from them though in a little while. I used to get one probably about at least once a month. Anyway,
Well, I'll get Matt over there, just see, might just get a call, see if we dig that one out, and him pour them up and pour another one, see what the,
yeah,
Yep,
compare apples to apples on.
there you go.
yeah. All right, well, we'll get them look at it. I'll talk to TxDOT and see if they've got any kind of a program going right now on that kind of damage. And there very well may be. I noticed that, of course, we weren't included in that, but the governor just renewed the disaster declaration over some of the flooding and stuff in other counties around. So we might tap into some of that.
Okay, that's all I got.
That's it? Okay. All right. No action on it, we'll do the checking. Item number 4. Anya has typed up a little resolution asking the court to pass that, the deputies' time schedules. And it's the FSLA 207, Rule 207.
Okay.
Get us out of, keeps us out of an overtime situation.
Well, we were under the other one where we were totally exempt, but now used to they didn't count the dispatchers in their count for that, they only counted the deputies. Well, now they count dispatchers in that count, but we can't hold them.
Yeah.
So the TAC told us to adopt this 207K.
You know.
In fact, we've been paying the deputies for 84 hours every 2-week period. This will go to 86 hours on this one. Right now, we're paying them for 84 hours, 42 hours every.
But TAC said to adjust, because they gave me the formula to do their salaries by, and you adjust the
Yeah.
salaries to include the 84 hours, because we set the salaries for this year only. So,
Is it more money or just reappropriate?
just reappropriate. Same amount of money, just it's different.
Click my pen.
I was fixing to text you.
There will be comments.
Yeah.
I was fixing to shoot him a text, quit messing with your pen.
You buy you a Nerf ball.
Yeah. Stress ball.
Yeah, there's been times here lately that stress ball almost turned into a stress flask.
Well, I had no idea that I was gonna get music while I was trying to look at the radar.
I did that in class.
Wow, that cloud went across there at Sweetwater.
At home.
He got serious.
Over south at Lincoln
Oh,
Looks like you got together down there south of Abilene. Man, we just barely did miss getting over some of that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it looked like it was coming, a junior flood, there just east of me. I come to work this morning. It just,
It
probably-
came right down the county line, looks like, and they got there about Sweetwater and it all got together.
Really.
They got rain down there.
Mm.
Oak Creek filled back up.
All right. Y'all read Anya's, what she has proposed we do on that accepting the FSLA Section 207K of the Sheriff's Department deputies, where we move to 14 consecutive days, be a 86-hour work period. And overtime will be earned following the 86th hour. What's your pleasure? And now any overage over that will be paid out in compensatory time, or we can pay them paid overtime, but we'll have to determine that in our budget stuff. Set funds aside for that in the budget. Right now, there's not any funds set aside in the budget.
And that's another thing, that 86 hours has to be in the performance of your
Yeah.
actual duties
Yeah.
before you can drop on.
Yeah, I called tax, HR, talked to them about it. They had tax, HR, legal department call me back on it. We had a long discussion, explained what we could do, what we're liable for, this county. And we explained that, just putting in the time, if you're, say you're on call, but you're at the house asleep or watching TV, something, then we're not liable for that. The only thing that counts toward this 86 hours is if you're actually out in your patrol vehicle patrolling, or you're in the office doing your paperwork or investigating an incident or something. On call, this on-call time, and then, but one of the things that Anya and I have discussed, we discussed it with the deputy too, is when we start on our budget negotiations this time, and we got our first workshop scheduled, I'd like to see us maybe put something in the budget to, if somebody is on call, but they're not actually out doing, but they can't go anywhere, they should be compensated something for it. We do that with the ambulance service right now. Jan, you know what that is when they're on call time? I mean, it's not much, but it's enough to compensate them for a little bit of their time. Do you remember what that is?
Well, the paramedics, they get their straight time,
Yeah, but
Irregardless,
they're
but
in
the-
here, yeah.
but the others, I'm not for sure. It used to be like $5 an hour, but I'm
Yeah.
not for sure exactly what it is
Yeah,
now.
that's just with me, I can't remember exactly what it is, but we compensate them at least a little bit for being on call. And then if you get called out, then you go on your regular time, regular pay schedule. You
Yeah.
get called out for what time you're out until you get back to whatever it is you're doing on call time. So, I'd like for us to have that discussion when we get into our budget workshop about maybe some small stipend for somebody that's on call. I know we had a deputy at the last 3-day holiday was on call for 24 straight, or 48 straight hours. And unfortunately, that's one of the things you get into in one of these small departments like this, where we've only got 3 people total, so. Anyway, that's for just, but right now, what's your pleasure on this, adopting this FSLA section 207K for our policy going forward? Not a big change, but it's something that we need to
We need a
Consider.
resolution on file.
Yeah.
When it's attached.
discussion. I see a lot of closed mouths around.
I was just trying to figure out how many staff members would have to actually cover 24 hours a day for 14 days. We obviously don't have enough.
No, and that's why we've always just paid them 84 hours, no matter how many hours they worked.
Yeah.
You know, if
You
they,
work 10 hours, we pay you 84. We've never asked for an accounting of those hours.
Right.
Now, we're gonna have to ask for an accounting about those hours. And this is the result of a phone call that was made. So this TAC called us and recommended we do this.
yeah. Yeah, we really didn't, Anya and I, neither one really initiated this. It got initiated for us. And so we've had to, this is the result of some discussion we had. Anya has talked to the HR department. Like I say, I had a conversation with them, and then they had their legal department call me back. We had discussions, and Annie and I have been dealing with this for the last couple of weeks, trying to figure out how we move forward and make this thing, right? We wanna be right by our employees, but at the same time, we need to protect the county too. And this is the best solution that we can come up with on this thing for all concerned, is to adopt this program that is allowed through the National Labor Board.
And Mr. Mullen does know about this resolution. I mean, he knew that because of the way they were counting what he thought we were exempt under, they changed how you count people. And he did understand that we had to adopt this resolution to have some control. So he has been in the loop.
So, we want to adopt this. Anyone, I'll entertain a motion.
Bueller.
No.
Bueller.
Or we can, one of the few times in 10.5 years, I'll make a motion, we adopt the FSLA Section 207K exemption for the Sheriff's Department deputies. That's my motion. If we have a second, you gonna second that, Bill Kirk?
Yeah.
All right, we do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of that motion? I've got 2 hands, 3 hands, I've got 4 hands, all right. Motion carried.
Okay,
Now,
Lacey,
Number
you're
five.
up.
All right,
Number 5.
let's not wait so long to move on this one, Gary.
I make a motion, we accept it.
Consider Pritchard and Abbott contract. It will begin on January the 1st, 2022, and will run through December the 31st, 2023. 2-year contract.
Five.
Pass this around, but each year that contract, well, the first year in 2022, that contract price on that is $18,165. In 2023, the second year of the contract, the fee will be $18,515. Pass this around if anybody wants to look at
You
it.
see it?
No.
Anybody want to look at the contract?
Oh.
This is one of those things, I guess you'd call it a necessary evil.
You have to have it, that's right.
Have to have it.
This just software is all that's all this is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now, are they furnish us any machines, any computers at all? Or is it just, we furnish all the,
We own all of our machines in our
Yeah.
office. The only thing they do is they furnish the collection software and the cloud.
Yeah, there's
We
actually,
used to pay for a server, but now we did away with the server and we're just in the cloud.
yeah.
okay, so, I can't believe I'm saying this. So disappointed in myself. The cloud fee though, compared to Sam Goldsmith, what's that cloud fee on his contract costing us? Out of that, whatever it is we pay him a month,
I don't even know what we pay Sam a month.
27
I mean-
I don't think we have as much cloud as y'all think. I don't know. Y'all would have to ask Sam, because I said something about it, and it's like, that's a separate program.
Well, today we have lots of clouds, but
Yeah.
tomorrow it's supposed to be
It's
clear.
pretty cloudy.
Well,
See, all
nearly got
my
rain
stuff
out of
is
it.
through LGS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hers is through LGS.
I'm in the LGS
It's not
cloud,
Yeah.
it's not the
us.
Goldsmith cloud.
But I guess what I'm thinking is that, of that $18,000, that's
I don't know how you
$1,500 a
explain
month,
it.
right? That's about $1,500 a month.
Well,
So if part of that's cloud service, I mean, really, that's really not that bad a deal. I hate to say that, because y'all know how I despise
I've said that
them.
all along, and there's so much discussion over that, but I think they're super reasonable.
yeah.
13 cents, I'm gonna
This-
start using them in all my
Hall.
stuff.
Yeah, there's 4
Do
different
we have a
sections
thank
of
you
this
card
charge.
Gary could sign and send
And-
Pritchard and Abbott?
I actually do have one on my desk, Kirk.
I ain't
Yeah,
signing
that
people
we've
no
got-
card.
Say on 2022, of that $18,165, we got $3,750 of it is for
Now, they
hardware
realize
and
now we're gonna
third-party
get the
software. Tax data stored in private network, sonic firewall, secure remote access, daily backup to cloud, Microsoft Windows Remote Desktop, Microsoft SQL, whatever that is, server. Do you
Right.
know what that is? Okay. Adobe Acrobat Standard License and Crystal Reports. That's $3,750 of it. $6,190 is collection software. I won't read everything on that, but we can understand what that is.
That's how I
Yeah,
operate every day.
yeah, that's it. $5,725 of it is tax statement software. And that's mailing out our tax statements and that sort of stuff. And then you got a software license fee for 3 users. They've got 3 computers in there that they need. Lacey's and Nikki's there, and then Lacey's other one in the back office.
But that
So
statement.
that's $2,500.
But that statement deal, that doesn't cover the mailing. We still gotta pay that mailing out of that, right?
That's just creating them.
Yeah, yeah.
So is that where they're
The
making it?
ability to create.
Okay, so that's where they're paying for the paper and the envelope is in that part of it?
No.
You still, that 13 cents is still buying the paper and the envelope and paying the mailing? That just blows my mind.
But isn't it a good deal?
Huh?
Isn't it a good deal?
It is, I'm just saying, somewhere we're getting skint. They can't be losing money just for us. Just out of the goodness of their heart.
But they're a big outfit and they do a lot of counties.
Well, can you imagine the
Yeah.
amount of paper that?
Yeah.
Well, they got
North-
about 250 of the 254 counties in their,
Yes.
in their possession, right?
I don't know exactly how many, but
I
they,
don't think it's quite that many. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a percentage, but it is very large.
yeah,
And they are the best.
Yeah.
They actually.
in this price for the first year of
Yeah.
2022, represents a
Yes.
$350 increase over on our last year's contract, or the one we're working on now.
Now,
Now, just because, I'll tell you what I told that curly-headed kid, just because they're the biggest, don't mean they're the best.
well, they're our best
Malcolm.
option. They're our
Was
best
that
option.
Malcolm?
What is Malcolm?
Malachi.
Malachi. Oh, Malachi. Him and Agent 41 had a deal going on there.
Yeah.
Now, they have created a new software called Paragon that they have installed in my office, and it has doubled my workload for sure.
Well, that
it's-
sounds fun then.
It's so much fun.
And it's, what is
What?
it?
Really, truly, it has
About 3
doubled.
companies in the entire state that does this?
I did talk to a few of them,
Yeah.
but, I mean, even talking to everybody there, I mean, I think of all of the counties, last week, there were, 211 of them at Corpus, and most everybody uses P&A. I mean, it's just the way it is. So.
Okay, so I guess I don't understand. If they put a new program in and it's doubled your workload,
Well, it's just new, so it has lots of glitches, and it takes me twice the amount of time to do what I need to do right now. But that happened in whatever year, 20 years ago too, and it took 7 or 8 or 10 years to finally get it like I really enjoyed it, and now we're starting again, so.
And that,
I mean, they're working with me and they're trying to please me, and sometimes that's tough, so they really are working to help me out, so.
especially after your meltdown.
Right.
she melted it.
What?
Yeah, all right.
You didn't tell me that, Lacey. You should, did you tell them, I'm gonna go
But
get
then
Gary?
everybody's calling, they're like. how can we
Lacey's
help?
meltdown
Yeah,
is a sight worth watching.
yes.
That's all I can tell you.
Where do we get that ticket?
Yeah.
It was Friday afternoon and most everybody was gone.
Yeah. So,
Except me, because I was still working, because I couldn't get it to work, so.
I might have even learned a new word or two. Ooh, yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I need you to.
I'll do it for 12 cents.
Well,
So I get back to
just
work.
for you, I'll make a motion to renew it.
okay, we got a motion. Have
I'm
a
gonna
second.
second.
Don, a second.
Man,
Any
it's
further
Women's Day right here.
Leave it alone.
Any further discussion?
I say we vote against it.
All in
She
favor?
may have a meltdown for you.
What do you wanna do?
I'm gonna vote for it. I'm
All
doing it for Lacey.
That's what I
Not
was
for
doing.
Pritchard
I tried to
Natty.
help that lady.
Okay, we're voting for it for Lacey.
This is unanimous.
Strictly
vote
for
then.
Lacey.
All
Okay.
right, motion carried.
Did you sign it?
Yeah. Let me sign it right quick. Oh, and.
You want me to sign it?
Give the judge.
Yeah.
Give the judge permission.
Authority to sign on behalf
I'll
of.
sign
No, we're
it.
gonna let you sign the thank you card.
Yeah. Dang, we, let's don't lose our head here.
Jan made the motion because she understands.
That's right. That's right. I really have had this sitting on my desk going, oh my gosh. I gotta take this original
I'll
part.
find the-
And this is for how long?
2 years. And it's.
The rest of our life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cause anyway.
I really have good relationships with the people that, I mean, they really.
Oh, I get, my biggest road coming from that guy, that time, I can't think what was that guy's name? It was a ag appraiser. He's not with them anymore.
Larry?
No, not Larry, the other guy.
Oh, what
Tim.
was it?
Tim
He and I
Mercer.
did not have
Wasn't
a
it?
very good
Yeah,
conversation.
that guy, he was,
What was
It was
Never
Tim
mind.
Mercer, wasn't it?
was it Mercer?
All right, on
I mean-
the, what's the 14th day?
He's gonna raise ag values in there, cause he misfigured. 500,000 acres worth of land sales.
They said they had 55 owners protest, is that correct? Is that what she said this morning?
Just your signature at the bottom of that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, and they had settled all but two.
Right.
And the
And
other two will be
LCS
settled
is-
before the 15th.
Well, that wasn't as painful.
So was it mineral?
She did
All right,
settle
item
them.
number 6.
I think two
Open
of them were
forum.
real estate.
Yes, I think.
Gary?
No,
No?
I'm good.
Kurt?
No.
Yeah? Y'all all talked out. Don, you have anything?
I don't have nothing.
Holly? Anya? Riley?
I'll just, I got just one thing, so I had a conference last week, and right before we closed, we got into forum, and one of the questions came up, and y'all may have gotten an answer to this, but it was on the CARES funds, and I know, Ronnie, you were trying to figure out what
Yeah.
we could do with that, and it was fascinating being in the room, and the DA from Rockwall County was facilitating it, and the Williamson County DA stood up and so she asked the question, well, how much are y'all getting? Let's talk about what you can do it with. And so the Williamson County guy stands up and says, we're getting 117 million. And so she's like, right, so this is the time to upgrade your computers and do all this. And all us rural people are sitting there like, what's going on? So I raised my hand and I was like, that's good for y'all. I'm great. What I need to know is, can we sustain with the money? Because, you know, y'all's tax values aren't falling like ours are gonna be, you know, and this and that. And so, anyway, the new Dickens County attorney was there, and he had done some research, and he said, yeah, I think you can. He said, the language is, you know, you can use the funds to, you know, sustain operations and this and that is from losses, it's a
Yeah.
direct result of
Lost,
COVID-19.
it's
Yeah.
pretty flexible if it's a lost revenue.
Right,
Right.
and so, anyway, I did kind of get an answer on that last week.
Yeah. If you claim other stuff, then it gets real restrictive, but if you're claiming that the funds will offset lost revenues, then it gives you quite a bit of flexibility on what you spend it for, but you still have to track it.
You have to track how you lost it
Huh?
or how you spend it.
Well, how you spend it.
Okay, because they're sending us spreadsheets as far as our loss in
Yeah.
registration fees and everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like all counties are going that direction.
Yeah, they should, because like I say, that gives you, when you do that, you've got some pretty broad flexibility there on what you can spend those funds for. But if you're claiming it for other reasons, you know, for expenses for COVID or for what, then you have to be very specific on things you can spend it for, on what it can go for. I can't even begin to imagine what the you'd do with $117 million, how you'd track all that. But they got a lot of staff too.
Right, but I was just sitting there.
Yeah. But their
Fascinating
tax
discussion.
base don't vary that much. It just continues to go up, right?
Right.
Where ours has gone down by a considerable amount over the last 3 years.
But anyway, I was almost laughing on the inside when
Yeah.
this conversation started, and I'm like, good night, you know, and then, anyway, after I said something, then several other of the rural CAs or DAs were like, yep, same problem, you know, the
Yeah.
Cochran County guy stood up and was like, yeah, we're taking a huge loss. you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
This and that, so it was just fascinating. They're like, okay, well, now's the time to upgrade everything.
Anyway, and I still have not got that email from Treasury yet on it. I'm gonna be making some phone calls this week to find out what the holdup is on it. Because that's when we completed that last, kind of a Zoom interview we had to go through. We had to present all of our documents so they could get a picture of that with me in the background and of all of the documents that we claimed we had. We had to prove that we actually had those documents. And the final thing that the young woman told me on that thing before we ended that conversation or that interview was you'll be getting an email from Treasury to, hey, well, I've not got that email from Treasury yet, so.
It's in the clouds.
It's in the cloud. You got caught in a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rained out over Jones
He
County.
got hid behind that $117 million, I guess. So, anyway, that's it. But I'll be checking on that further this week, but yeah, and I may have to be asking the other partners like yours on what you've lost in revenues. It's just like the revenue from the traffic fines and stuff that comes through the JP's office. That's been almost non-existent for a year and a half now. I mean, absolutely.
Thank you.
And I know registration fees are way down over stuff. I mean, it's just, we've had a significant loss in revenues. That's not counting what we lost in ad valorem tax revenues because of the decline in our values over the last 2 years. So, we'll have some flexibility there on then what we, a lot of it is just absolutely making up general purpose funds for,
And now compassionate collections.
huh?
Now compassionate collections.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to display compassionate collections because of COVID.
Yeah.
Can you demonstrate that? Cause I'm,
And it's loaded with that compassion too.
we're gonna get a song and dance, some violin music in the back.
Anything else, Riley?
I think I've talked enough today.
Anything else? Really, I don't, the main thing I wanted us to discuss was that box culvert out there. That's as far as what could potentially be a pretty heavy expense coming up. That was the one thing, and we had a good discussion, and we'll be doing some checking on that. The only other thing I've got is at noon today, over here at the Veterans Memorial, there's a little flag ceremony. This is Flag Day, and they've got a little ceremony planned out there, burning some of the old flags. We gathered up all of our old tattered flags. I've still got 2 of them in there in chair. I've got to get out there to them. Just a little, I can remember one other ceremony years and years ago that they had a little flag burning ceremony. It's a pretty neat little ceremony. We're supposed to get something planned out there now on that at noon today. So if you still in town, you have an opportunity, might be something worthwhile. That's all I got.
Motion adjourned.
Nope, wait a minute,
budget.
wait a minute.
Budget.
It's not all I've got. What we normally do is go, but we've got a budget workshop. So, Anya, you wanna go over any changes we've looked at?
But y'all should all have a copy of the budget.
Yeah, you should have
2.
proposed.
One says general and one says road rates. On the general, on that first page, you're gonna see a big change in intergovernmental contracts. Down there in other revenue, that is because the ambulance and the appraisal district both now get their health insurance through us and pay us. So that money is now going in that line item as an income, it'll come out in the insurance column. Just so, so we can account for that money coming in and out. And then the pilot abatement is a new addition on there, it's at the bottom of that first page.
That's the wind turbine deal, right, the second phase?
Yes.
And if you'll notice that check on that power pole actually ended up more than what we had anticipated. I guess they put a extra tower or two across here. You know, they didn't know for sure how much,
Right.
what our megawatt count would be, and you know, they gave us a range, but I think we ended up with a little more than what they thought, which is a good thing.
On the salaries, I added the longevity pay and deducted the positions that were no longer on there. And if you look on the sheriff's office salaries, you'll see they had a number 6 dispatcher budget in last year and this year. So they do have a person working in that position now. On the custodial part, we did 6,000 on the custodian and 6,000 summer help for mowing and stuff like that.
Yeah, we just kind of shuffle some of that around. The fellow that's doing our mowing, I've got to have a discussion. Part of this thing we didn't add in down at like the Boy Scout hut or over at the jail. I'm kind of proposing that we maybe buy a little push type mower for the jail and we use some of their trustees for doing that rather than just sitting outside and smoking. But those little push mowers, we're talking about $160, $70 to buy one of them. You may have to kick in just a little bit above water negotiate, get down to down around the Boy Scout hut, and that kind of stuff. And on that, did y'all spray in there around the fence down there? Did you, all that in between the fence and that Boy Scout hut and all that good deal?
I need to get all that sprayed. I sprayed that little dry parking lot there in front of the
Yeah.
Boy Scout.
Yeah, if we get any more growth that comes up, you know, between the fence and along that fence,
Yeah.
actually all the way down from there out, you know, 'cause that's rough, it's been ditched and cut and everything, and just spray that sucker for us. Get a chance.
Take care of it.
Yeah, okay. That'll work. Oh, and by the way, it looks good out the airport, what y'all got sprayed out there
Yeah.
so far around the roads and around the taxiways and stuff.
Did he get a spray, did you get that?
I don't think he sprayed that yet. He's been waiting for a west wind. The one thing, they couldn't get down that road while it's been wet. That airport road's been pretty, we hauled some material down that just to get Bay Heck and them out of there. They got in pretty bad shape.
Yeah. I'd think no more just like 80 acres, that he could almost just load up his home, his base airfield and fly over here and spray that thing, go back rather than try to move all the equipment over here.
I'll call him,
I think.
talk to him.
Y'all don't have any cotton or anything in out there yet, do you, Kirk?
Today.
Today, you're gonna be planting it today, so he needs to get over here in the next 3 or 4 days before that little cotton starts coming up.
Did our new
Y'all
deputy-
the only ones out there that's putting cotton in anywhere out around that, aren't you? Yeah.
And we're just right down the road.
Yeah,
Well, we're just off the end of the runway too,
all right, yeah.
across
Yeah,
Lackey.
you're across, so we're on that place, so. So if we're gonna spray it, we're gonna have to get it done in the next, well,
Right now.
by midweek anyway, if we can.
Did our new deputy find him a place to live over here, or is he still commuting?
He's,
Is that the government
living in a government apartment there just south of the post office.
Actually, that heck planted it Saturday.
Huh?
We planted part of that yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, you figured 4 days to come
Yeah.
up? Of course, as warm as it's been being, maybe 3,
4.
4.
But I mean, as long as he don't have a south wind, I mean, a
Yeah, as
north
long as
wind
we got a
would be
south
hard.
breeze, we're good on
Yeah.
it, but, yeah. Okay, Annie?
On page 5 of 11, you look down there at the bottom, I highlighted that health insurance number. That is, the addition to that is the increase that we've already discussed, but also adding back in the appraisal district and the EMS.
Okay, so that's more than the 9%.
Right, because we added
The
other
the
departments.
other folks,
The other
Yeah.
department's insurance. back
Sure,
in there.
sure.
I mean, the appraisal district has 2, 1 family, the ambulance has 1 with 1 family.
well, we identified, what, about 6 or 7 items the other day when we was talking about them. I've got them marked here somewhere on the other sheet.
Yeah, the next change, which I didn't highlight, is the county agent expenditure. You'll notice it decreased. The county library decreased because, we took out the conference.
Book purchases too.
Yeah, we left the book purchases, but we lowered it somewhat because they kind of been slowing down on the books right now. So I kind of have to look through this with y'all because I've read numbers so much that it's, on the page 9, the law books, if you'll notice, that went down 1,500.
What's the number at now?
3,000.
With there being a session, several of my books will republish. I'll have to get new ones once the new laws take effect.
We're looking at one, $200 a piece, something like
I
that.
think the code book is 250, 300.
How'd they do that on, okay, so they're gonna meet, they've met, and then they're gonna change all the laws, then they're gonna have a special session. Will you get a supplement, or will they wait and just write all that at one time?
I'll check before I order anything. And I need to go back to my notes. They didn't have, I think they got most of their law enforcement stuff through, maybe. I can't remember. Or is there some stuff that they missed? Because they, they were gonna do the House proposed, and I think maybe passed the George Floyd Act, which is this big omnibus, had lots of stuff in it. And then I think Senate was like, and so then they started breaking it up and just doing individual pieces. So I don't know if there will be anything that will be criminal justice or law enforcement related in the special session, but that's something that I'll check on.
A lot of that stuff ends up being administrative type things. It's kind of like the Sandra Bland Act. That was almost all administrative changes.
But there was a lot of stuff moving certain drug classifications. and moving, some crimes from being a state jail down to misdemeanor courts. There was a lot of stuff like that that they were running through and circulating, and that would impact what we did.
Yeah, there was, how does that work? If you're convicted of state, if you're in jail right now, convicted of something, they change that law and make that a misdemeanor.
Depends if they give it retroactive effect.
But
There was-
but they can do that?
They can do that. There's one.
Well, that would muff you if you was hung up and they say, "Oh, ain't that big deal, but you gotta stay down here till you serve your time." It's kinda like, wait a minute.
Well, see, on state jail felony, it's always been where it could be reduced to a Class A misdemeanor. On all state jail felony charges, the district judge and the DA can reduce that back to a misdemeanor.
And what was it? There is something that, I think it's related to firearms. There is something that they're,
They
But
were
they're-
talking about this, concealed carry without a license. I don't know how, I don't,
there's something that they're lowering the penalty and making it retroactive to all previous convictions.
No kidding.
I'll have to go back and look, but there was something that they were doing that on.
That's crazy.
I guess I missed that one.
I thought that permitless carry passed. And I
It
thought,
did.
and Abbott's already signed it, hadn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't have to have a permit and you can have a holstered gun,
yeah.
Concealed or not open?
open.
But you
I
can't
think-
carry concealed, right?
No, you can't, well, you can have it in the holster and then stick it in the back of your pants.
Yeah.
But you
As long
can't
as
have it in the
it's
back of your
holstered.
pants without the holster.
Yeah. It's,
Or under your coat?
You can have it in the holster, in the
So-
back of your pants.
So I can't take a pistol and just put it in the back of my pants because then that's concealed, but I can put it in the holster, then stick it in the back of my pants and it's fine.
Well, that makes good sense.
Lord.
or,
What if I've got a holster here and
I
a
think-
jacket?
I think that's okay.
if you read the plain language, the way they talk about it, it's just, all it has to be is in a holster. Well, you can't just carry it in your pocket or stuck down your
You have
belt
to have a
or your
permit to have,
waistband.
you have to have it, in general, you have to have a permit to have it concealed,
Yeah,
but if it's in a holster and concealed, it's not clear what that means.
yeah. It's a, yeah.
Well, they'll find that, they'll work that out pretty
Yeah,
quick,
yeah.
'cause that'll,
Yeah.
that'll come. Hmm.
Anything else, Anya?
Road and Bridge right now, the only change, which it's not on there yet, the only change will be the longevity for the salaries at this time.
I thought
I'm
no
not
better,
gonna
I
brag
thought no
on-
better than Jackie run a shovel,
not
we might
gonna
oughta,
brag
we
on-
might oughta cut his salary a little bit, I mean.
I'm not gonna brag on Jackie again, because I bragged on him and then he just,
He blowed up.
he blowed up, so,
Do you see anything in there you want to question about, or you think maybe we need to take a look at on making some changes, additions, or cuts on anything? We tried to go over this thing line by line and see where we could mostly cut. We didn't add too much, other than, it looks like some things have been added on the insurance side, but it's really not. It's just, we're showing it in some different places. But,
for accounting
yeah,
and stuff.
I mean, it's, we carry some people on our insurance on some of the other entities around, but they reimburse us for that. And we had to kind of break that out where it shows better.
I thought Road
On
and
that.
number 4 wasn't with us anymore.
We left that line out of, yeah.
Okay.
Do we need to move money just so there'll be money in the bridge replacement line?
See, I don't know, because, I left that line item in there,
Yeah.
even though it was zeroed out. But it never had it had a big amount and then they took it all away, so I really don't know. We can put like $10 there and open that line up.
Well, you know, a little minimum amount or just nothing in it as long as the line
I
item's
said
there. We
take
can
the
always,
initials off of that and move.
we can always transfer into it as long as we got the line.
Guys line there.
Yeah.
And take the initials off.
And we very well may have to on this box culvert out there. Just depends on how that thing comes out. Oh, one more thing I failed to mention a while ago, which is, while y'all were kind of looking this thing over, I want to acknowledge, we did get a thank you card for the flowers from the Tate family. And the swimming pool, during the week, we've been averaging about 60 to 65 kids in the pool, well, kids and adults. It drops off a little on the weekends, I'm assuming there people are still vacationing and stuff, we're running about 40 on the weekend. I expect as this 100-degree temperatures continue to haunt us, I figure we'll probably go to seeing more and more down there. You think it'll go down as it heats up?
Yeah, because the mothers don't want to sit out there and heat. Truly, the
Yeah.
hotter it gets, the less swimmers you have.
Oh, okay, because the mamas don't want to sit out there. Well, so far, we've been seeing them in the pool with the kids,
Yeah.
you know. We had one little incident took place Saturday night at a party. I guess first time we run into that. Had some little dogs that kept coming over and visiting in the pool, and our lifeguard was issuing them out and tried to kind of take them across the street where they belonged, and one of them bit her on the back of the leg, so kind of broke the skin. First time we've had a lifeguard, I guess, get dog bit. Anyway, we had Gordon come down, and I think he was gonna tell the folks they needed to kind of keep their dogs up, because when we got people at the pool, we don't need their dogs over there coming in around the pool growling at folks. Of course, one of them growled at me the whole time I was working on it, cleaning it and painting it and everything else. He'd stand up on the side and look down at me and growl at me while I'm.
One of his hot dogs. Everybody else gives him a hot dog.
Yeah. Couple of Chihuahua dogs. Anyway. That might would have happened. You know, anyway. I guess as far as I know, that's the first time we had a.
That's the
incident
first
like that.
injury?
First, that's the first injury. Anyhow, I mean, this kind of broke the skin a little bit on the back of a young lady's, calf, but, you know, it wasn't a big serious injury. But we did notify her parents, and they came down and looked at it, and we called the deputy, and he come down there, and I think he advised the people they need to keep their dog at home, or their dogs, there's 2 of them. Other than that, all right, you see anything else on the budget? Anything you want us to take a look at, Justin? We did adjust around, well, you explained that on our maintenance help around the courthouse and stuff. That was adjustments.
And this is without any other COVID funds.
Yeah.
You left that road hand number 4 in the budget. You left that road hand number 4 in the budget.
Yes, at this time, I just sent it in out, but we'll probably leave the money. we'll leave that line item there, it'll just be. the
Yes,
one
ma'am.
that's adjusted. Yeah, I really hadn't worked on Road and Bridge very much, I've been trying to go through general and see what I could cut there.
You hear that, Jackie?
You're next.
You took note of
I
that?
got an eye on it.
You might wanna bring your tent next time, just saying.
Yeah, the tent revival is what we're looking at now.
Next Saturday on Courthouse Square, is what I understand.
Yeah. The tent revival,
Yeah,
sell a few light bulbs.
yeah.
It's my hope the oil prices keep going up a little more. Maybe next year we can get back in better shape where we can go looking at replacing a couple of trucks. We're gonna have to for long.
Yeah.
Did that fix your truck that you carried down to Abilene?
Yes, sir.
Is the John Deere doing all right now? The tractor?
Yeah.
The tractor
Yeah.
from
The one, that $15,000 tractor, we got 60 grand out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's doing good.
Doing good. Finally, you think maybe we finally got it
I
fixed?
think maybe so, it's top notch.
Almost new.
Oh,
In,
it should-
In, nearly new.
You nearly do.
In.
Yeah, I mean, wow. That's been the gift that's just kept on giving. Or maybe I should say, just keep on taking.
Tractor of the Month Club.
Anybody have any immediate questions or heartburn over anything? And the thing of it is, we will be doing these workshops from now until through probably the middle of August. So if you go over that and you see something you want to question about, or you think we need to change, well, let Annie and I know, we'll take a look at it, see what we can do. I mean, that's about as austere as we can make it. And still continue to operate at the present time, so.
It just is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, any questions, comments about any of it? All right, Gary.
Make
item
motion
number
adjourned.
8. Donna had her hand up this time. She got on
Johnny
to
on the
that
spot.
deal there.
She Johnny on the spot.
And like I say, we're gonna have that little program out here at noon.
That's at noon?
And you're still around.
Honorable Sid Miller.